I was going to ask you, what do you think you would have done for a job if you lived in like the early 1900s?
Crime.
Welcome to the Desoto approach with Jake and Logan.
Well, I don't know if you would call them aliens. Maybe they're not called that.
Let's go. And how we feeling today, Log?
I'm doing pretty good.
So
How are
I
you
wanted
doing?
to talk about season 2 of Tiger King coming out. And I was just telling you before this, I watched all of season 2 last night, of course, because it came out. I was obsessed with the first season. And then season 2, I don't want to give any spoilers. I guess you haven't seen it yet either. But
yeah, I'm a couple episodes in.
Okay, watch it, and then on the next one, we'll talk about the whole thing. I don't want to spoil anything. Not if there's any, like, crazy spoilers, I guess. It's not Game of Thrones, dude.
Yeah, you can Google it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I just wanted to say I love every single person in the show. Like, they're all obviously pieces of shit. Like, for sure, the whole thing is Joe Exotic thinks he was framed for the murder for hire thing, which maybe he was, but he could just be in prison for 1,000 other reasons and probably should be, as well as everyone else. But I was thinking, like, all of these guys are just, if they were like 20 IQ points higher, I think they would all be worth like hundreds of millions of dollars.
Dude, especially Joe Exotic.
Him and like the Jeff Lowe guy, like all the shady businesses he's done, and the other guy that runs one of the other like tiger sanctuary, not sanctuaries, it's like a sketchy roadside zoo as well.
But it was Dr. like,
no, not that guy. That guy's rich as fuck.
Yeah, that guy's fucking nuts too. Yeah.
No, his name's Tim something. I can't remember his last name. He's the guy that always has the monkey with him.
Oh, yeah.
That guy, he's just a crazy person. Like, he's more of a main character in the second season. They talk about him a lot. But like all of these people, they don't give a fuck about anyone but themselves. Like, they don't give a shit about the law they're fighting. Like, we're saying Jeff Lowe, the guy that steals the zoo in the first season, him and Joe are like kind of team up at the end. That's not really a spoiler or whatever, but they kind of come on the same side at the end. And they're just talking about how they say how the enemy of your enemy is your friend, and they're like, their main enemy was just the federal government, and they're just fighting everybody. Like, the other guy's like in a courthouse, just, you can't fucking do this. Like, I'm not dealing with this shit. It's like, dude, imagine just having the balls to say that, like, in a courtroom. There's like 20 cops around him. He's like, you guys can't fucking do anything to me. Like, I feel like that's just the mindset that the CEO of ExxonMobil has. Like, he doesn't give a fuck about the government or anybody else. Like, he's just trying to make money. These guys are all just idiots. Like,
he's not passive about anything. Like, he just like goes after it. Whatever it is, he just goes after it. And also, I wanted to bring up how bad. Okay, so there's that guy in the first episode. This doesn't really spoil anything, I guess, but he wears the cowboy hat with the suit. He's like he goes to the Trump rally or whatever it was at the Capitol to try to get him. How bad does that guy want to just be famous? Because he didn't even know him.
The rest of the show, it's just that like scene that he's in and that part of that episode. He's not in any other part of the whole season.
The producer probably caught on to his ass because this guy never even met Joe Exotic or did any business dealings with him. He just agreed with him online, and he was rich, so he funded the private jet and all that shit, the limousine.
I think he did all that after season 1 came out too. Like, he didn't give a shit until Joe Exotic was the most famous person in America.
Yeah,
him and the lawyer that was Carol Baskin's ex-husband's kids, because Carol Baskins just took all of his money in his estate, and then the kids didn't get anything. So they hired the one lawyer, and they were like, he just wanted to be famous too much. Like, he was doing a bunch of media stuff. But dude, did you see the scene? I think this is kind of a spoiler, I guess, but it's so funny. I wanted to talk about it.
Who cares?
When Carol Baskin was on when Carol Baskin was on Dancing with the Stars, and it cuts to commercial, and it's a commercial of the family like trying to get justice for the guy. The whole family is sitting there and just called out Carol Baskin by name, basically accusing her of killing the guy
Like
when she was on Dancing with the Stars. They paid for the commercial time, airtime, right at commercial break during that. That's so funny, dude. That's hilarious.
That's dude. She's never going to get away from that.
Mm-mm.
It's always gonna be there.
Yeah.
Until even if they don't find anything on her to like convict her of killing her husband.
Yeah.
Or her ex-husband, like it's still gonna be there till the day she dies. Like it's just gonna haunt her forever. Too many
people that know about it and just think she did it. And people are dumb. The general public of this country they're not bright. Yeah, they just want to hate somebody, and she's the person right now, dude.
Yeah, for sure. Which is, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Like there was a guy in season 2 that used to date Carol Baskin, and they're like interviewing him, and they go to a driving range or something. I don't know, to interview him. And he's walking up, and there's a guy next to him. And I think he kind of asks what they're filming or whatever, like just some random guy at the driving range. And he's like, yeah, have you seen Tiger King? And the guy's like, yeah. And he goes, I used to date Carol Baskin. And the guy just goes, oh, did she do it? That's the first thing he said, was just, did she do it?
It's like the new age OJ Simpson trial.
Yeah,
it's like,
literally.
Except she's not on trial, I guess. But it's it kind of gives me those vibes. Like everyone knows about it.
Yeah, dude. It's
all over the place.
And everyone just 100% thinks she did it. I guess the OJ trial was more split, right? It wasn't like everybody thought he did it.
Yeah. Like, could you imagine what the OJ trial would be like if it happened like in the social media era, and when there's more people like this armchair detective guy?
Yeah.
He's just a guy at home that learned a lot about the law.
Yeah.
And he's exposing fucking Carol Baskins.
The Ripper guy.
Ripper.
Or something.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like, could you imagine? That'd be crazy if the OJ trial happened, but in this time. But enough with Tiger King. I have to tell you about furries. So what's your understanding of a furry? Like,
so
make sure we're on the same page.
Like, think that they're cats.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Or like a fox or something. Yeah.
Cat is a perfect
segue
into what I'm about to tell you. So there's these kids from a school in Iowa, and I can't remember what school it was, but these kids are furries at this school. They're like identify as cats.
Do they walk around during like school day? How do they look? And I don't think that they should be, but how do they not? They have to be bullied so much, right? Like, I don't think they should be. It's fine, whatever. But like, how do they fucking go to school every day? Imagine going to high school like dressed as a cat and telling people that you're a cat.
Yeah, it's insane. Let me just read. I'll just read this. There's a forum. I don't know what about this forum is true, but it's just something. It's just like a recap of everything.
Mm-hmm.
It says, I had never heard of this and was just made aware.
I have never.
And was just made aware
of this. Parent? Like, this is a parent?
Yeah.
This is for sure a 50-year-old white lady. 100%. Yeah. I have never.
Yeah. Who lives on a farm in fucking Northeast Iowa.
Dude.
But we have a couple of kids in our school system who have told all the people around them, apparently for years, that they identify as something other than human. A high school girl says she identifies as a cat, and a high school boy says he identifies as a dog. I checked with friends in the district who are in the know, and they indeed confirmed this. I speculated that these kids were simply doing this for attention, and was unequivocally that these kids have been in this position for years. And in fact, the parents of the girl are now insisting that the district make a litter box available for her in the girls' room. Apparently, the boy is being guided through the school with a leash and a collar on. They are, in parentheses, not surprisingly, the subjects of great bullying.
Oh yeah, dude, I can't imagine. Dude, I take it back. I'm on these kids' side. These kids are fucking heroes, dude. Imagine having that much confidence.
Yeah. And apparently, I don't know if this is true either. It's just bullshit that I heard. The mom is like suing the school because they won't provide a litter box for the
That dude, you can't do that though, right? Are they gonna shit in a litter box? Are they gonna shit in the thing? Like in a stall at the school?
I don't know. Who knows where we're going?
Dude, this is what I'm saying, Logan. We should just become absolute grifters. We just should like do something like this. You should go to work and say that they need to provide you a litter box. And then if they don't, which they shouldn't, we could just sue them.
Yeah, you could just sue anybody for anything.
Dude,
you could sue people for hurting your feelings.
They're not going to win.
I don't know. I don't know what they would win or what they. I don't have any details on this. I just saw it and thought it was funny and wanted to share it with you.
They can't win though. How would they? What are they suing them for? You can't. I guess you can just sue somebody for anything, right? They're not. I guess
like, kind of maybe like the same reason why someone who has a child, like say you have a child with disabilities or something, and the school doesn't provide them the right resources for them to learn. Like that's obviously that's a legit claim though. But I'm guessing it's something like that, something along those lines. You can
sue the school. I guess if it's like a public school, what if it's like a private high school? You couldn't sue them, right? I guess public schools, because it's supposed to be just for the public, right? Everyone's supposed to have access to public schooling. So then you could sue them.
Yeah, because I'll tell you right now, that shit would not fly at a Catholic school. You just asked Jordan about that.
Dude, imagine Jordan being around. Imagine Jordan in high school. Someone coming up to Jordan in high school and telling Jordan that they are a cat.
Dude, Jordan was
Jordan would just go, all right.
Dude, funny story actually. Jordan is my brother, by the way, if you didn't catch that from the last couple of episodes. But
I was just saying his episode hasn't come out yet, right?
No. But he was a cat on the rugby team. So he would put like whiskers on his face when he played rugby.
Jordan's a furry.
Yeah, Jordan's a fucking furry.
That's so funny. He's actually the one suing the school because they wouldn't give him a litter box.
Dude, Jordan would do that shit too. Just for shits and gigs.
Oh shit. Oh my god.
He's the ultimate troll.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, dude, I don't even know. What these kids that are doing this have to either, like, they can't just be doing it for attention, right? How much of a psychopath you have to do just to do that for attention, right? Or would people do that? I guess people do crazy stuff for attention.
I don't know, dude. There's so many different.
There cannot be any positive attention that they're getting from that, right? Like, I just know how high school kids are.
No, they have to just kids. I mean, times have changed, but people haven't. Like, people still act the same. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. And kids have way more outside influence on things like in their lives, so it makes sense why there's so many more fucked up ways of thinking out there. Like, it's not there's not just like one person telling you how to do everything.
Right. And if you're like getting online, like there's definitely like furry communities online that they could be a part of. And then they go to school and do it. And then because there's no way they have like a lot of people at the school that are doing that or think that it's
a real school in Iowa, dude. It's like a small town in Iowa.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just that's so wild. How are they? I just don't understand how they're suing the school. Like, over what? I don't know.
I don't know. Should we Should we look at those
Oh,
Facebook
the
Marketplace
Facebook
posts?
Marketplace. Yes. Bring
So-
these up, dude. These are so
okay.
funny.
So we just have some interesting Facebook Marketplace posts that we wanted to.
So I just like
Take a look at.
randomly scrolling through Facebook Marketplace. Sometimes there's actually some really cool stuff on there. Like I found some cool stuff. I haven't bought anything, but dude, this one's so funny. I can't even see it.
Okay,
Look at this
so-
artwork. This is
Okay.
made by this guy.
Okay,
And
the
it's-
caption on it says, on 3/2014, it was made by me. The frame is
Yeah.
13.5 by 16.5 inches. And it's just this ridiculous artwork. I don't
That's so bad, dude. That genuinely looks like a 9-year-old painted that or drew that, right?
know. Yeah. I love the
Like,
price too.
genuinely, and I know people,
$200.
Yeah, that's the craziest part, dude. And I get that a lot of people are like, "Oh, good art, like I could do that," but this is genuinely like just bad. Like it
Yeah.
looks like a drawing that a little kid made. 100%. The way things are shaped, like if it was a good artist that was just making like weird abstract art, that's a different thing. Where it's like squares with circles or whatever, and like, oh, this has the meaning. Whatever. That's all bullshit. This is just a very poorly drawn picture.
Yeah. Also, if you're going to sell something for $200, take a better picture.
The most expensive part of that is the frame. It's a nice frame.
Yeah, it is a good frame for sure.
It's just insane to me that he thinks that is worth $200.
Dude, I don't even know. I don't even know what to say about this under the bridge painting.
It's
Let's
so
go.
bad.
I'll go to the next one. So this guy posted.
This one's rough, dude.
If you're
I
if you're
sent
just
you this
if you're
one
just
like a
listening,
week ago.
yeah, if you're just listening, it says this ring is in excellent condition, only worn for a month
hang on.
before splitting up.
It's an engagement ring that he's selling.
Yeah,
Like
okay,
it's just
yeah,
pictures of an engagement ring. I didn't really get it at first. I didn't know what it was. I was like, oh, are they just selling this ring or what? But okay, read the caption now.
It is an engagement ring. It says this ring is in excellent condition, only worn for a month before splitting up. My loss is your gain. Paid almost $3,000 from Kay's jewelry. The wedding band is 1/4 carat, and the engagement anniversary band is 7/8 carat.
Dude,
$1,100.
I wanted to message them and just be like, just ask them what happened. Like they were together for 1 month and then broke up. They're engaged for 1 month and then broke up.
Yeah,
Like you can't like genuinely think you're gonna marry someone and then 1 month later just break up with them, right?
Yeah. Well, there's that, and also
Like it had to be something really bad that happened.
yeah, that's what I was getting at here is like if you break up an engagement a month after, something bad happened. If you break up an engagement a month after and you try to sell the ring on Facebook, something really bad happened. Like he had to fuck his sister or her sister or something like that.
Dude.
Something bad, because most people, I think in this situation, at least the way I would do it is I would just give it back. You know what I mean? It seems like
or not sell it openly on a public
Yeah.
Facebook forum in the city
Yeah.
that you live in, dude. Like
oh,
this is
yeah,
in the Dubuque one, by the way. Dubuque is not that big.
yeah,
Like a lot of
That's-
people they know are gonna see this. Dude.
yeah. It's just a dig, dude. Just a huge dig.
That's so funny. That's so fucking funny.
All right, let's do the next one.
What other ones we got?
Okay,
Oh.
so this is a picture of this is a picture of a long sleeve t-shirt, not ironed, and it says "Gobble till you wobble," and the caption says "No holds."
This is a hot item. You come and pick it up. I'm not holding it for you. That's so funny that they just said no holds. Dude, what are they selling you for? I can't even read on here.
$10.
$10. Also, not even worth $10. That is a
you could buy that shirt online brand
Facebook
new.
Marketplace shirt at best.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
It's also, you can wear it one time a year. Like, it's clearly a Thanksgiving shirt.
Yeah.
Like, you can't wear that in the middle of July. You look like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
I love that it just says no holds. Does it say a size at all?
Oh, it says holds. I thought,
yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. So no holds means, what's that mean? Just like they'll hold on.
Like, they're not going to hold it. Like, if you message them and you're like, oh, I want it, but I can't pick it up till next week. They're like, no, dude, we are not holding it.
I completely interpreted that. I completely interpreted that in a way funnier way. I thought they meant to say no holes, like HOLES, and they spelled it wrong.
No holes. Well, I would expect that if you're selling it to somebody.
That's what I just kind of assumed they're fucking stupid. But
no, I think no holds is funnier. Like, they're like, dude, if you like, this is such a hot ticket item that if you can't pick it up, we are not saving it for you. Or it's a haunted t-shirt and they're just trying to get it out of their house as fast as they possibly can.
That's fucking awesome. Wow.
All right,
okay.
Which one we got next?
We got a couple more here.
Dude, this one's so funny for some reason.
Okay, it is a heavy mirror and it's $30 and the caption says from Disneyland.
Why would you buy that at Disneyland? Like, they went to Disneyland, and out of all of the things that you can buy as memorabilia from Disneyland, they chose a plain mirror.
Let me pull up a picture here.
Dude, it has nothing to do with Disney. It has absolutely zero things to do with Disney.
I love when people try to take pictures of a mirror.
Oh, yeah. She's off to the side.
Yeah.
For people just listening, she's off to the side holding her phone in front of the mirror. So you can see her because it's a mirror. And also her cat is in the picture. Just wait 2 seconds. She's like, just to make sure you know the mirror works. Yeah, here's a picture of me and my cat.
Yeah. Jesus. Oh, and also, don't worry about your finger halfway in the fucking picture.
Yeah, right.
God, that's so funny. From Disneyland.
Yeah, why did she put that? Do you think it's even actually from Disney? Like, do you think it was she used to work at Disneyland and it was like hanging on the wall somewhere? Because it has nothing to do with Disney.
Dude, it adds value.
Right?
It brought it from $10 to $30.
Yeah, I guess.
It's, dude, don't you know anything about NFTs, dude? It's all about ownership. It has nothing to do with what it actually is.
Do they have proof that it was from Disneyland?
Probably.
I'm just gonna undercut her. I'm gonna offer her like $10 and be like, you don't have any proof that this is from Disneyland.
It just says in Sharpie right here, Disneyland. What if it said that? That'd be so funny. See, says it right there. Says it right there on the back of the picture.
That's hilarious.
Ah, man, I'm losing brain cells. All right.
Dude, there's so many good ones on here.
Now for the finale.
This is bike. It just says bike, and it's the most like 14-year-old kid bike of all time.
Yeah.
And read the caption.
The caption says 20-inch mongoose, $75. Not perfect, not bad, but not bad.
Way to fucking upsell it, bud. Dude, and it's just one picture of the bike leaning on a fence.
It's not good, but it's not bad.
It's really not that bad. Look, $75. I know what I got.
No low balls.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I don't know why I thought that one was so funny. It's just bike.
Dude, Facebook Marketplace is the best.
It's just, that one's some 14-year-old kid that's just trying to get rid of his bike.
Yeah. Trying to get an extra $75. No one,
dude.
No one's gonna buy a fucking bike that looks like that. for $75.
Dude, I saw another one. I forgot to send it to you, but it was like 4 different. It was like a Frozen one, like Frozen, the Disney movie, Tangled.
Yeah.
I think The Princess and the Frog. I don't know. It was like 4 Disney princess movies, but it was like tiny Mad Lib books for those. And they were trying to sell it for $15. And it was 4 of them. And I was like, these are $2 a piece. Maybe. They're also, did you not use them? Like, even if they're brand new, you could buy those for cheaper at Walmart. Like, they were probably a $5 package for the 4 of them. Like, who's trying to sell that stuff? Like, something, if you don't use it, you just throw it in the trash. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess these people are just hustling, dude. Do you think these people watch like Gary V videos? And they're like, look, I had this laying around. I'm gonna turn it into a free flowing cash.
What do you do on the weekends? Oh, you just sit there and watch TV? You need to get a garage sale.
Much shit in your house you could sell. Everything's worth money.
I go to a garage sale every week.
Yeah.
But there was this one time. I mean, I can't really talk shit because Kyla literally sold an alarm clock on Facebook, and
these were like paper, like they probably got them for free.
That's true.
Like they probably came with something. Like it was just such a shitty. I don't know. I just thought it was so fun. I wish I would have sent it to you. You could see the pictures of it.
But so this one time we put this alarm clock on for $5, dude. $5. And it's just like a Target alarm clock, like something you buy at Target, and it's probably $15 at Target. And this guy responds to it from Ames, by the way, which is like 45 minutes to an hour from where we live. And he's like, all right, I'm on my way to pick it up. And I'm like, all right, whatever, dude. And he gets about halfway and he calls me and leaves a voicemail because I didn't know his number because I was just messaging him on Facebook. And he leaves a voicemail and it's like, yeah, I'll be there in any minute now. Anyway, and I'm like, what in the fuck is about to happen? And he pulls up and calls me. He's like, outside. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? So I go outside with the alarm clock. Like, I don't know I thought this guy was drunk, dude. It was like noon on a Tuesday. And I walk out there and he's like, I'm like, you want to plug it in? And it's just like this old, super sweet old guy that collects clocks. That's the only reason he drove all the way from Ames.
He collects alarm clocks. Like, it can't be a nice one if you're selling $5.
No, he just thought it was cool.
No, that guy just fucking hates oversleeping. Sets like 40 alarm clocks in the morning.
Dude,
that guy has a phobia of oversleeping, dude.
He just has the $5 cash ready. And he's like, thank you. And I'm like, you want to plug it in? You want me to plug it in and make sure it works or show you that it works? And he didn't have anything to plug it in, but he was just like, no, I don't care. I just collect them. I'm not going to use it. And then he pulls out his phone and shows me like 10 alarm clocks that he has that are like Harley Davidson brand and like all these crazy alarm clocks that are actually probably worth some money. And I'm like, dude, I just sold you a digital alarm clock you can buy at Target.
He lost money on driving all the way there just to pick it up.
Yeah. Well, that's what I thought. That's why I was so confused at first, but then I thought about it more and he's like, dude, this guy was like 90. Like he was probably just looking for something to do. He probably just does it for like just entertainment.
Yeah, that's true. Dude, I sold a couple things the other day. So first of all, it was a lamp, like just a lamp that was it was like a handcrafted wooden base for the lamp, I guess, and then it had a little lamp thing in the top. I had a paper towel rack holder thing, and then a little table, like a little kind of like a little bedside table or something, or like kind of a coffee table that you'd put on like the side of your couch.
Yeah.
But it was also like 14 inches tall. It is way shorter than your couch.
Better have a short couch.
They were all like handmade. They were wooden handmade by a blind guy who made them. And I sold those on Facebook because I got them for free. So my boss's son is blind and he just makes stuff. And I got them for free. Like they just didn't want them. And I was like, oh, they look kind of cool. And then I brought them home and I was like, I don't want them anymore. And I sold them on Facebook Marketplace. And I didn't realize you had to join the groups and post stuff in groups. I just posted on there and they were on there for like a couple days and they just weren't selling. I was like, maybe nobody wants these. And I was kind of looking through and I joined a couple like Dubuque area real garage sales, which is the one that I was on. And it just in like 2 hours started a bidding war between like 6 people that were trying to get these. It was so funny.
It's insane.
But I had no holds on there, so first come, first serve.
Dude, people are fucking nuts on Facebook. I was just thinking about this with like how, because you said Gary V, and then I was thinking about it, and there's probably a lot of people that like actually make a living like buying and selling stuff online. And then I thought about it even more. I'm like, what I was going to ask you, what do you think you would have done for a job if you lived in like the early 1900s?
Crime.
Because my job right now doesn't that's true. Doesn't exist at all. And I think about that sometimes when I'm like, I don't even know it. I probably do like a physical labor.
Like what year are we?
Let's say like after World War II, you think? There was no, let's say right after World War II. Like World War II, we're in peacetime after World War II. What are you doing?
Like immediately after, like everyone's just coming back. Like
everything's back to normal.
In World War II, we get back like the next week. What kind of job am I doing?
Yeah.
I don't know, like some kind of factory work, probably. I'm not very smart, so I don't think I'd be able to do anything else.
That's what I was thinking.
Money, but if you get a factory job, then in like 10 years, like in the 50s, we could have bought a house.
Yeah,
you work for like fucking 5 years and just be able to afford a house, like in cash.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of, you just said you're not very smart, so I probably work in a factory. But think about that, like all the really smart. I mean, not all the really smart people, but all these like famous, really smart people all work in industries that didn't exist back then. So like, what did like the really smart people do?
Well, I think most of the like really smart people like Jeff Bezos would have just found a different way. Like he's like Andrew Carnegie. You know what I mean? Like he would have just had a different industry that he would have been in. Because Jeff Bezos doesn't give a fuck about he doesn't give a fuck about Amazon. Like he doesn't care what Amazon sells. He's like, this is just going to be, he was like the first person to make an online place where you could buy everything. Because he just started selling books. It was just a bookstore. And then he started selling everything. He just built it into an online marketplace. Like he would have just built something else.
He's just an entrepreneur.
Started a different business. He's just a brilliant like businessman. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I guess that's true. Like my great grandpa owned, like he would be like he would be like 105 now, but he died a long time ago. But he started a bowling alley in Des Moines and he opened up some coffee shops and stuff. Like he was an entrepreneur.
Was
like,
it
that's
Val
how he
Lanes?
Yeah.
Was it
Val
really?
Lanes. Yeah.
I was gonna say it was, right?
Yeah.
That's sick.
And
shout out Val Lanes, dude. Being too drunk.
Yeah.
Dude, you remember we went there?
Yeah.
We went there and Theron almost tried to fist fight the guy because he wouldn't let us play with the bumpers up and he was fucking hammered. Do you remember that?
Yeah, he's a fucking idiot.
Oh my god.
No, but like that's what I'm saying. Like I didn't like if he was alive today, like if he was in his prime, like he was my age, let's say today, he'd probably be an entrepreneur in a different way, is what you're saying.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So there's people that were really smart. Like Nikola Tesla was a super genius, but he died like poor because he didn't get any money from any of the stuff he did. And Thomas Edison like gets a bunch of credit for being like this great inventor, even though he kind of just ripped off a bunch of Nikola Tesla stuff. but he was like an amazing businessman. Like that was his thing, is he knew how to run businesses and just build this giant empire and get all of like, he would kind of steal a bunch of patents from people. Like that's how he was also a smart guy. Like I think he had a lot of inventions, but he, like, everyone knows who Thomas Edison is, and he gets all the credit for like the electricity stuff, even though Nikola Tesla did a lot of it. But like a lot of the small engine, I can't remember what it was, something to do with engine, the way they were designed or something. Nikola Tesla worked for Thomas Edison and invented something. It's like something, it's a process that they still use today to make engines, or how engines run. I don't really know that much about it, but Nikola Tesla invented it, or like made that change. And then Thomas Edison's company owned the patents for it because he worked for him. So Nikola Tesla just never made any money off of it. And Thomas Edison made a fuck ton of money from it. Like that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's just people that are really good at running businesses. They would just be doing that in a different industry probably today.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what if you think of it this way? Like right now, there's a lot of options. If you say you're a really intelligent person, there are a lot of options for you to just get a job doing something that you have to be very smart to do, like any kind of engineering or computer science type stuff. You have to be like really intelligent to do that.
Right.
I'm talking just in like the tech space, because obviously the medical field and all that has been around for a while. But like back then, what if you were the type of person that didn't want to start a business, or that just wasn't in your DNA? Like what were there just a ton of like computer geeks working in factories? Like not computer geeks, but people who would be computer geeks just working in factories.
Yeah. I mean, there were still engineers back then.
Yeah, I guess
they
like,
just
there's other types of engineering.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, like doctors back then, fucking, they didn't know shit. Like a doctor in like the 1800s, I know more about the human body than a doctor in 1819. You know what I mean? I think
like what is that? Actually. Like what is that Vladimir? What's his last name?
Putin.
He's the no, he started Ethereum.
Oh yeah.
Like what is that guy doing in 1940 or 1950?
Yeah, dude, I don't know.
Because that motherfucker's not starting a business. Like he started Ethereum, but he's not like a business. I wouldn't consider him a businessman. He's more like, he's just really smart and created something that turned into a business.
I think he would have been at the, but I don't know, because he did it when he was like 19. So it's not like he went to school for it. Like he probably just had obviously some natural propensity for technological stuff. He probably learned a lot of the shit on the internet on his own. But if he was just like a poor person, I don't think he would like came from money, did he? Like I think he was just kind of like a regular kid.
Yeah.
Like if you were just a regular, like middle lower class person in 1946 or 7, whenever, like what do? I guess they still had colleges and stuff. People would go to college. It was different back then. He probably would be at the leading edge of whatever technology they had back then, because I think he just has a natural attraction to that. But I don't know.
I'm looking up jobs in the 1950s right now. Just says like business, I guess sales. Like if you're a businessman, like you want to get into business, but you don't want to own a business, you could have gotten to sales. Like
I think it's kind of the same now. Like all the jobs. I think now it's easier if you're dumber to get rich. Like
because there's so many ways that you can, I don't know.
Like with the internet. Like the Pauls, like they just didn't have anything. They just built a fucking empire from social media. Like you can do that now.
I don't think you have to be dumb to get rich. I think you just have to be, I think dumb people can get rich now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Is that what you're saying?
I think like, and not like obviously
not that they're dumb. They're not dumb.
Smart kids. Yeah. But I don't think if you were to put them in the 1950s, they'd be as successful as they are.
Oh, definitely not. No.
Because I don't think you could monetize like your own personality the way that you can. You've never been able to do that like the way you can now.
Yeah, but don't you think their like work ethic and stuff like that?
Yeah, but what would they have done?
I mean, like look at Jake Paul. He's like a legitimate professional boxer now. Like,
yeah, but he wouldn't have been able to do that back then.
yeah, but it was in him. Like the fact that, like, yeah, it wasn't his personality. It wasn't his personality that got him to do that. It was like the same thing you're saying about Jeff Bezos. Like, he could have taken that same drive and determination to become a professional boxer and go sell fucking bricks. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, like, he could have done it in a different way.
Yeah.
I do agree. Fame is completely different now. Like, you're not going to, no one was like, there was only like 10 famous people in 1950. So that, it doesn't really doesn't really translate. I guess
they could have gone to something else, but they couldn't do what they did back then. Like so, like, he's a professional boxer. It's not like he's making that much money when he fights because he's so good. Like, he's making that much money because he's so famous and so many people want to watch him fight. Like, he is a good boxer too, but he never would be at that level. Like, they're very good at leveraging their name, basically, or like their not their personality, I guess, because people like fucking hate the Paul brothers. Not so much Logan Paul anymore. I feel like he's pretty cool, but
I listen to his podcast or watch it on YouTube sometimes. He has some pretty good ones, pretty good guests. He had Theo on.
Yeah, I wanted to watch that
pretty
one.
Good.
Have you ever seen the Theo Vaughn had Tim Dillon and Logan Paul on?
Yeah.
Have you seen that one? Oh, I think you told me about that one.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I don't think Logan Paul knew who either of them really were.
Yeah. Dude, if you get in a room with Tim Dillon and you don't know who he is, good luck.
Dude, he was in Iowa City last night. Danny went and saw him.
Oh, I was going to ask you because I saw him post that on Facebook that he went to see Tim Dillon. And then I looked on his tour and he's in Madison tonight.
Yeah, me and Danny were talking about it a while ago because on his podcast, he was talking like he had just beef with the club he was playing at in Iowa City. He just fucking ripped on him for like 20 minutes on his podcast the other day.
That's awesome.
And then I just completely forgot about it. I don't know. For some reason, I thought it was last weekend when I was back home when we did the episode and stuff. I thought it was last weekend. I don't know why. But yeah, I'm bummed that I missed that. He's so good.
That would be fun. He's one of those guys that's like, you have to see. Like, I have a list of comedians that I want to go see just because I just want to see them in person and just confirm that they are real human beings. Yeah. And he's on that list. Like 100%. Theo Vaughn was on that. I definitely want to see him. I still have to see him.
Oh,
I've seen Tom Segura and Christina P.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. It was not that long ago, right? It was like a month or two ago.
Christina P. was. Tom Segura was a couple of years ago at the Civic Center in Des Moines. Yeah. And I just really want to see Theo Vaughn, Mark Norman, and Tim Dillon. Those are like the three that I really, or even Shane Gillis now, dude. That was his new special is so fucking funny.
Shane Gillis, genuinely, I think he might be the funniest comedian right now. He's so funny. Did you listen when he was on Joe Rogan's podcast the other day with Mark Norman and Ari Shaffir? They were all on it.
I think I listened to like the first hour.
Dude, it's so funny. Shane Gillis just gets fucking hammered in it, and he
just drinks Busch Lights.
Yeah, he's just crushing. He drank like 11 or 12 Busch Lights during it, and they smoked weed.
Dude, that's so funny that it's so funny that he lives in New York and he just crushes Busch Lights all day. Like, that's the most like, it doesn't even like match someone like the type of person that lives in New York.
Yeah. And like he was a writer for SNL kind of for a minute, and then he got canceled and got fired. But you wouldn't think someone that like is in the comedy scene and is a writer on SNL and lives in New York City would just crush cans of Bud Light. He's so funny. Yeah. Dude, who's your favorite stand-up that you've seen live?
Dave Chappelle. It was between Dave Chappelle
I forgot. Dude, he was in Des Moines the other day.
Oh yeah, he was at Wells Fargo. Just
what the fuck?
It was for a filming of a documentary.
Oh,
or something. So I don't know
me about that. He's like, did you know Dave Chappelle was in Des Moines the other day? was like,
Yeah.
no, I 100% would have gone to that. So he didn't do a show, or did he do a show?
I don't know. I can't,
because I didn't see it anywhere. I feel like I would have heard about it.
Yeah. Well, I heard about it like a month ago, which seems very close to like, usually you hear about that stuff like 6 months out.
Yeah. Because especially if he's doing Wells Fargo Arena, they sell like 20,000 tickets, right?
But yeah, I did. So he does these like pop-up shows where he'll like announce it.
Yeah.
Like 5 days before the show. And he did an auditorium in Ames. And I was at work and this guy I work with was like, dude, did you see Dave Chappelle's going to be in Ames like in 3 days? I'm like, no. He's like, tickets go on sale in like 20 minutes. So I bought tickets and they sold, dude, he sold out fucking like, I don't know, probably like a 4,000, 3,000 seat auditorium. It wasn't huge, but he sold it out in like 20 minutes.
Oh, 100%.
And I was able to get it because I was on my computer when like they went on sale.
Like
but,
right when it went on sale.
He was so funny. It was him. Michelle Wolf opened up for him. And then then it was Donnell Rawlings and then Dave Chappelle.
That's fucking sick.
Yeah. Chappelle went on for like an hour and a half. It was like 45 minutes of stand-up, like with bits and stuff. And then like the other 45 minutes was just crowd work, dude. And it was so fascinating to just watch how fucking good he is at just sitting up there and just talking. Like he doesn't have a plan at all. He doesn't have a plan at all in some part. Like towards the end, he just didn't have a plan. He was just pointing at people. Like, I don't know. He was just so fucking good. And he's definitely probably the best live stand-up I've seen for sure.
Yeah. Dude, that kind of reminds me of when we saw Chris D'Elia in Chicago, and it was on New Year's Eve. And just for people listening, so we saw him on New Year's Eve, and the show got over at like 11:45, and it was downtown Chicago. So he was like, there's 15 minutes till midnight. If that, there was 10, 15 minutes. He's like, I know you're not going to be able to go somewhere, like getting out of here, going somewhere else in downtown Chicago on New Year's Eve. He's like, you're going to miss it. He's like, if you guys want, you can stay. Like he brought back out his openers on stage. And they're like, we're just going to hang out. We'll do a thing at midnight. And he's like, in the meantime, come up and tell me your New Year's resolutions. And people would come up and he would just rip on them. And I think that was good. As funny as the whole show. Dude, it was so fucking funny.
That was so much more fun than going to like a fucking bar until midnight. Oh, yeah. Dude, that was so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really good. I saw Theo in Cedar Rapids last year. That was really good. I told you his special just came out. He was doing that material, obviously, but my favorite bit from the whole thing that we saw him live in, he didn't have on his special. I was so upset. It was so funny too.
That's good.
I like when we saw Joe Rogan. I was so glad he had Tony Hinchcliffe. Tony Hinchcliffe was good.
He is funny.
He was good. Yeah. He was so funny.
Yeah.
I can't remember who else I've seen. Gilly saw Bill Burr. My friend Gilly saw Bill Burr in Madison. It was like 4 years ago. It was so long ago. It was literally on my birthday, but it was when I still played soccer, so I couldn't go because we had a fucking soccer game, dude.
Dude, fuck soccer. Soccer's a whack sport.
I agree.
Is that what you called it? Isn't that what you called it? A whack sport?
Whack, dude. It is whack.
When you busted your face?
No, Wisner, the old football coach at our high school, I played football. I was just a kicker, and he would just call it commie ball. That's the most freaking old white dude, small town football coach thing ever. Calling soccer commie ball.
That's fucking funny. Yeah,
that is hilarious. Fuck. What else I want to tell you? There was something else I wanted to tell you on this. I was kind of saving it. I always text you about the stuff before, but sometimes I want to tell you stuff live. I don't know. I can't remember.
All right. There you have it. That's episode 3. Yep. Episode 3 in the books.
Hell yeah. All right.